Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cross Cultural and Global Communication. I'm Yogesh, and I'm joined again by Lily, our expert on all things intercultural. Hey, Lily.
Hi Yogesh, it's great to be back. I'm especially excited about today's topic because today we're getting into the heart of what communication actually looks and sounds like across cultures.
Yes, this episode is all about verbal and non-verbal communication. So often, when we talk about language, we only think about words. But in cross cultural settings, what's unsaid can be just as important, sometimes even more.
Exactly. Facial expressions, gestures, tone, eye contact, physical space, silence, all of these things communicate and they're deeply shaped by culture.
Let's start with the spoken word. Verbal communication seems simple. You talk, I talk. But cultures shape everything from tone and formality to how long you speak or whether you interrupt.
Absolutely. Take directness, for example. In cultures like Germany, Israel, or the Netherlands, people are encouraged to say exactly what they mean. Honesty is seen as a sign of respect.
On the other hand, in cultures like Japan, India, or Korea, people tend to be more indirect. They may soften messages to preserve harmony or save face.
Right, and that's where misunderstandings happen. A direct communicator may think the other person is evasive, while the indirect communicator thinks the direct person is rude or insensitive.
It's also worth noting how we start conversations. In some cultures, small talk is expected and polite. In others, people prefer to jump right into business.
Americans might say, let's get to the point. But Latin American or Middle Eastern cultures might spend the first 10 minutes building rapport. Neither is wrong, they're just different norms.
Let's talk about silence. It's one of the most misunderstood forms of communication.
Oh, absolutely. In many Western cultures, silence is uncomfortable. It's seen as a sign that something's wrong. But in East Asian cultures, silence can mean reflection, respect, or even agreement.
I've seen people rush to fill a silence in meetings when in fact the other party was thinking or honoring the discussion.
And in cultures where face saving is important, silence can also mean polite disagreement. Instead of saying no, a person may stay silent or use vague language like, we'll think about it.
That's such an important point. In global business, reading silence correctly is critical. Let's move into the non-verbal realm. Body language, gestures, facial expressions. These vary enormously across cultures.
Yes, for instance, the thumbs up gesture is positive in the US, but it can be offensive in some Middle Eastern or West African cultures.
Or the OK sign. In some countries, it means everything's good. In others, it's a rude hand gesture.
Even nodding can be confusing. In Bulgaria, nodding means no, and shaking the head means yes.
That could lead to a very awkward business negotiation.
Absolutely. And facial expressions, while often considered universal, are also interpreted differently. For example, a smile may not always indicate happiness. In some Asian cultures, people smile when they're nervous or trying to hide discomfort.
That's such a valuable insight. And then there's physical space. What's comfortable distance in one culture may feel invasive or distant in another.
Yes, in Latin American and Arab cultures, people stand closer during conversation. In Northern European or North American cultures, people usually prefer more personal space.
Let's talk about eye contact. It's a big one.
Definitely. In the US, Canada, and many Western cultures, eye contact is a sign of confidence and engagement. But in some Asian, African, or indigenous cultures, too much eye contact, especially with authority figures, can be seen as disrespectful.
And when it comes to tone of voice, volume, speed, and pitch all vary. Mediterranean or Latin cultures tend to speak with more intensity and emotional tone. Northern Europeans may use a more subdued tone.
And speed matters too. In some cultures, rapid speech is a sign of enthusiasm. In others, it may be seen as aggressive or careless.
So again, it comes down to interpreting communication through the other person's cultural lens, not just your own.
One of the biggest risks in cross cultural communication is misinterpretation. You might think someone is disinterested because they're not making eye contact, or unfriendly because they're not smiling.
Or you might assume someone is interrupting you when they're just being enthusiastic based on their culture.
Cultural filters affect how we perceive others. We're always decoding behavior based on what we think is normal.
And that's why self-awareness is critical. Once you realize that your version of normal is culturally shaped, you become more open to others.
I once worked with a Scandinavian client who was frustrated that their Indian counterparts weren't speaking up in meetings. But what they perceived as a lack of engagement was actually a sign of deference and respect for hierarchy.
I remember coaching a Japanese executive who avoided giving blunt feedback to her American team. She felt it would damage relationships, but the Americans wanted clearer, direct feedback. Once we named that difference, it unlocked trust.
These kinds of examples happen every day in global organizations.
Which is why we always say, don't judge, ask. Be curious about the behavior instead of jumping to conclusions.
So, what can listeners do to improve their communication skills across cultures?
First, observe. Watch body language, tone, timing, pauses. Pay attention to what people are not saying.
Second, ask clarifying questions. If you're unsure whether someone agreed, ask gently. Don't assume silence means yes.
Third, mirror but respectfully. Match tone and formality but stay authentic. You don't need to mimic, just adapt.
And finally, get feedback. Ask people how they experienced your communication. That can be an eye opening mirror.
Today's episode really brought home how much of communication lies below the surface. It's not just the words, it's everything else.
That's right. And as we interact with people from different backgrounds, it's our sensitivity, not our fluency, that builds connection. It's one of the most powerful distinctions in global communication.
Looking forward to it. Thank you, Lily. Well said. And for our listeners, in our next episode, we'll be exploring high context and low context cultures. That framework will help you understand why some messages are packed with unspoken meaning while others are extremely explicit. If you found this episode of Corporate Communication useful, don't forget to join us, leadershipacademy.tagbizsutra.com. Do share it with your friends and colleagues and leave your review. Until next time, keep listening with your eyes as well as your ears.